All right. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. All right. All right, y'all. Now, the video that I showed you of Ephesus, just to let you all know, a big population of Hebrews lived in Turkey. And Ephesus is one of those places that our ancestors used to live in. So we have a history of living among the enemy. You know, they don't call us a stiff-necked people for no reason. And we still are like that. As you can see, nothing has changed. Shabbat shalom to everybody that's in the chat. Glad you're here. All right, just give me a moment here. Okay. We'll give people a little more time to get in the room. Let's see here. In the midst of much confusion, we decided to unify. We won't let the vision die. We know there is a greater purpose, one aim, one destiny, and we'll all stay aligned to what's preferred by Yah. Man keep his hand in the hand of Yah, with woman by his side. Our children will follow, and together in unity we'll shine and glorify Yah. Together forever we'll glorify Yah. In unity together we'll glorify Yah. In truth and in unity, one love, one destiny, one great God family. In truth and in unity, one love, one destiny, one great God family. Yeah. Nothing will ever come between us. Our bond is tight. Doing what's required and what's right. Know there is a greater purpose, one aim, one destiny, and we'll all stay aligned to what's preferred by Yah. Man keep his hand in the hand of Yah, with woman by his side. Our children will follow, together in unity we'll shine and glorify Yah. Together forever we'll glorify Yah. In unity together we'll glorify Yah. In truth and in unity, one love, one destiny, one great God family. In truth and in unity, one love, one destiny, one great God family. You gave us back to one another. He opened up our eyes and he gave us the gift of the Yah. We know there is a greater purpose,
One aim, one destiny, and we'll all stay alive to us. We are man, keep your hands in the hands of God. With woman by your side, our children will follow. Together in unity we'll shine and glorify God. Together forever. And only we can do in unity to glorify God. Right now, in unity. Together, unity. One love, one destiny. One great family. Together forever. We'll glorify God. In unity together. Unity. Glorify God. We gotta have that. One love, one destiny. Still got the glory. Together forever, you know you glorify God. Together, glorify God. I must be fast. Yes, together forever, you glorify God. Unity together, glorify God. Don't you know it's gonna be alright? It's gonna be alright. One great family. Come on, let's work together hand in hand. Glorify God. We're gonna spread the love all over the land. Right now, in truth and unity. One love, one destiny. One love, one great family. Together forever. Glorify God. In unity together. Glorify God. In truth and in unity. Truth and unity. One love, one destiny.
All right, y'all. We're going to get into the book of Lamentations. You know, just understand we are all at different levels of learning. And that's going to happen because remember, the Most High wakes us all up at different times. Now, he happened to wake me up in 2010. That's when I got the tap on the shoulder from the Heavenly Father. And those of you just coming into the room, Shabbat Shalom to you, family. Shabbat Shalom. This is our holy day. This is the day the Most High anointed as a day of rest. We work and labor 6 days a week, and on the Shabbat, we rest. So, all of you, hello, and Shabbat Shalom. Now, you know we are a stiff-necked people. And all throughout the Bible, you're going to see where our people had to be punished a few times. And you can still see that same level of ignorance in our people even today. You know, we were stiff-necked back then. We are still stiff-necked. And the Most High is very patient. He is slow to anger, but when he gets to that point of anger, you know it's over. You're going to be punished, and that punishment is going to be severe. And you're going to see another time that the Hebrews the Hebrews had to be punished again in Lamentations. The gnashing of the teeth. It's not a big book, but it's a very powerful book, and the message is strong. And Jeremiah is the prophet that is telling this story in Lamentations. And he's actually one of my favorite prophets. I really love Jeremiah. Jeremiah is also known as the weeping prophet because he was always weeping to the Most High and worried about the fate of our people. So let's get into Lamentations and the whole meaning of what the book is. And don't be embarrassed if you don't know a lot about this, or if you happen to be very knowledgeable. You know, those of you that have a lot of knowledge, please be patient with those that don't. And those of you that don't have a lot of knowledge, even after this is over and you have questions, you can always send me an email. Don't be ashamed of what you don't understand, because many of those questions can easily be answered. So let's get into Lamentations. Now, the name Lamentations is expressing grief. To lament means to grieve. All right, so that's what this book is about. And Jeremiah, like I said, was known as the weeping prophet because he was always crying out of emotion over watching the destruction of his own people. And he was witnessing it. So in this book, he is writing what he witnessed. And that was the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. And this book was written shortly after the fall of Jerusalem in 586 BC. And Jeremiah was an eyewitness. So he had predicted this destruction because he saw all the sin going on in Jerusalem at that time. He watched it take place, and in this book, he sadly reflects on what he saw. So the purpose was to express despair and teach the Most High's people that disobedience to the Most High result in immense suffering and distress. Now, one thing our people have failed to learn even to this day, whenever things go wrong, we are supposed to seek the face of the Most High. Instead of seeking the face of the Most High, we still try to take matters into our own hands, or we don't turn to the Most High at all, and things don't turn out so well. Jeremiah pours out his emotion and compassion and empathy for the Most High's nation, the Israelites, okay, as he watches them inhabit a foreign land, and that is Babylon, okay. In chapter 1, Jeremiah mourns for Jerusalem and Judea as it lays in ruins, and this was after the Babylonians came in and destroyed the city. So when it opens up, Lamentations 1, verse 1, how lonely sits the city that was full of people. She has become like a widow who was once great among nations. She who was a princess among the provinces and has become a forced laborer. So this royalty has become nothing more than a slave out of disobedience. Chapter 2, he describes the anger that the Most High had, which caused judgment on the land because everything became wicked in Jerusalem during that time. And you're going to hear how bad it got. Ladies and gentlemen, they were cannibalizing their own children because there was no food to eat. That's how bad it got. So in Lamentations 2, verse 3, in fierce anger, he has cut off all the strength of Israel. He has drawn back his right hand from before the enemy. So in other words, he let the enemies come in and do whatever they want because these people were so wicked and they were not they were not following the Most High. So yes, Jerusalem at that time had turned completely wicked. Chapter 3. When we get into chapter 3, you'll see Jeremiah expressing his troubled spirits and suffering and gloom. He was very afflicted by looking at his homeland being pillaged by the enemy. And so, you know, the Most High, one thing about him, he will punish us, but he will always restore his love for his people. He never stops loving us, although sometimes we may not even deserve it. So he has that compassion even for us to this day. You know, our forefathers have done wrong. We are still feeling the effects of that punishment, but he still loves his people. He has not discarded us. He's not replaced us. And I used to hear the fake Jews, you know, people would say, well, they are in the land and they're praying, they're smart, they're doing this. No, the Most High did not replace us. So don't even listen to that kind of stuff. Now, in the final chapter, the Most High brings justice. Okay. So during the siege of Jerusalem, and the suffering was beyond anything you can believe. There was starvation that was so bad and widespread among the Hebrews, people resorted to eating their own children. The nation was warned about their sins and disobedience and the penalty of the coming judgment. So that's the thing that we all must understand. The Most High gives us many warnings before the people are actually punished. Even our ancestors that got punished in the bondage that we're in now, they had warnings for a long, long time before the Most High got fed up with everybody, and you know, and our people went into bondage. Remember, they were praying to false gods, and I was telling you about Molech was one of the gods, and they were throwing their kids into the fire as a means of making sacrifice to this false god. And if the Most High did not put us in captivity, I'm not even sure if children would have been left. That's how many they threw into the fire. It was a lot. So let's get into the book of Lamentations. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right.
The Lamentations of Jeremiah, Chapter 1. How doth the city sit solitary, that was full of people? How is she become as a widow, she that was great among the nations, and princess among the provinces? How is she become tributary? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen, she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feasts. All her gates are desolate, her priests sigh, her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries are the chief, her enemies prosper. For the Lord hath afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy, and from the daughter of Zion all her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like harts that find no pasture, and they are gone without strength before the pursuer. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction, and of her miseries, all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversary saw her, and did mock at her Sabbaths. Jerusalem hath grievously sinned, therefore she is removed. All that honoured her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yea, she sigheth, and turneth backward. Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembereth not her last end. Therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy hath magnified himself. The adversary hath spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things. For she hath seen that the heathen entered into her sanctuary, whom thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation. All her people sigh, they seek bread. They had given their pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. See, O Lord, and consider, for I am become vile. Is it nothing to you, all ye that pass by? Behold, and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith the Lord hath afflicted me in the day of his fierce anger. From above hath he sent fire into my bones, and it prevaileth against them. He hath spread a net for my feet. He hath turned me back. He hath made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgressions is bound by his hand. They are wreathed and come up upon my neck. He hath made my strength to fall. The Lord hath delivered me into their hands, from whom I am not able to rise up. The Lord hath trodden under foot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He hath called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord hath trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in a winepress. For these things I weep. Mine eye runneth down with water, because the comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are desolate, because the enemy prevailed. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord hath commanded concerning Jacob, that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a menstruous woman among them. The Lord is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and mine elders gave up the ghost in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Behold, O Lord, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled, mine heart is turned within me. For I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaveth. At home there is as death. They have heard that I sigh. There is none to comfort me. All mine enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me, for all my transgressions. For my sighs are many, and my heart is faint. Chapter 2. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord hath swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob, and hath not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. He hath cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel. He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire which devoureth round about. He hath bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury like fire. The Lord was as an enemy. He hath swallowed up Israel. He hath swallowed up all her palaces. He hath destroyed his strongholds, and hath increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation. And he hath violently taken away his tabernacle, as if it were of a garden. He hath destroyed his places of the assembly. The Lord hath caused the solemn feasts and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion, and hath despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest. The Lord hath cast off his altar. He hath abhorred his sanctuary. He hath given up into the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of the Lord, as in the day of a solemn feast. The Lord hath purposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He hath stretched out a line, he hath not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languished together. Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit upon the ground and keep silence. They have cast up dust upon their heads. They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem hang down their heads to the ground. Mine eyes do fail with tears, my bowels are troubled, my liver is poured upon the earth, for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the sucklings swoon in the streets of the city. They say to their mothers, where is corn and wine? When they swooned as the wounded in the streets of the city, when their soul was poured out into their mother's bosom. What thing shall I take to witness for thee? What thing shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great like the sea, who can heal thee? Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. The Lord hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and hath not pitied, and he hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. Their heart cried unto the Lord, O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river day and night. Give thyself no rest. Let not the apple of thine eye cease. Arise, cry out in the night. In the beginning of the watches, pour out thine heart like water before the face of the Lord. Lift up thy hands toward him for the life of thy young children, that faint for hunger on the top of every street. Behold, O Lord, and consider to whom thou hast done this. Shall the women eat their fruit and children of a span long? Shall the priest and the prophet be slain in the sanctuary of the Lord? The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. Thou hast called as in a solemn day my terrors round about, so that in the day of the Lord's anger none escaped nor remained. Those that I have swaddled and brought up hath mine enemy consumed. Chapter 3. I am the man that hath seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. He hath led me and brought me into darkness, but not into light. Surely against me is he turned. He turneth his hand against me all the day. My flesh and my skin hath he made old. He hath broken my bones. He hath builded against me, encompassed me with gall and travail. He hath set me in dark places, as they that be dead of old. He hath hedged me about, that I cannot get out. He hath made my chain heavy. Also when I cry and shout, he shutteth out my prayer. He hath enclosed my ways with hewn stone. He hath made my paths crooked. He was unto me as a bear lying in wait, and as a lion in secret places. He hath turned aside my ways, and pulled me in pieces. He hath made me desolate. He hath bent his bow, and set me as a mark for the arrow. He hath caused the arrows of his quiver to enter into my reins. I was a derision to all my people, and their song all the day. He hath filled me with bitterness. He hath made me drunken with wormwood. He hath also broken my teeth with gravel stones. He hath covered me with ashes. And thou hast removed my soul far off from peace. I forgat prosperity. And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Lord. Remembering mine affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall. My soul hath them still in remembrance, and is humbled in me. This I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he hath borne it upon him. He putteth his mouth in the dust. If so be there may be hope. He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him. He is filled full with reproach. For the Lord will not cast off forever. But though he cause grief, yet will he have compassion according to the multitude of his mercies. For he doth not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men, to crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth, to turn aside the right of a man before the face of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause, the Lord approveth not. Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord commandeth it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good? Wherefore doth a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Let us search and try our ways, and turn again to the Lord. Let us lift up our heart with our hands unto God in the heavens. We have transgressed and have rebelled. Thou hast not pardoned. Thou hast covered with anger and persecuted us. Thou hast slain. Thou hast not pitied. Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud, that our prayer should not pass through. Thou hast made us as the offscouring and refuse in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us, desolation and destruction. Mine eye runneth down with rivers of water for the destruction of the daughter of my people. Mine eye trickleth down and ceaseth not without any intermission, till the Lord look down and behold from heaven. Mine eye affecteth mine heart because of all the daughters of my city. Mine enemies chased me sore, like a bird without cause. They have cut off my life in the dungeon, and cast a stone upon me. Waters flowed over mine head. Then I said, I am cut off. I called upon thy name, O Lord, out of the low dungeon. Thou hast heard my voice. Hide not thine ear at my breathing, at my cry. Thou drewest near in the day that I called upon thee. Thou saidst, fear not. O Lord, thou hast pleaded the causes of my soul. Thou hast redeemed my life. O Lord, thou hast seen my wrong. Judge thou my cause. Thou hast seen all their vengeance and all their imaginations against me. Thou hast heard their reproach, O Lord, and all their imaginations against me. The lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. Behold their sitting down and their rising up. I am their music. Render unto them a recompense, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord. Chapter 4. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to the young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dunghills. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom. That was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. Their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. The skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. The Lord hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger, and hath kindled a fire in Zion. and it hath devoured the foundations thereof. The kings of the earth, and all the inhabitants of the world, would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. For the sins of her prophets, and the iniquities of her priests, that have shed the blood of the just in the midst of her, they have wandered as blind men in the streets. They have polluted themselves with blood, so that men could not touch their garments. They cried unto them, Depart ye, it is unclean. Depart, depart, touch not. When they fled away and wandered, they said among the heathen, They shall no more sojourn there. The anger of the Lord hath divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favoured not the elders. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps, though we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, Under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Chapter 5. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given a hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand. We got our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah. Princes are hanged up by their hand. The faces of elders were not honoured. They took the young men to grind, and the children fell under the wood. The elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music. The joy of our heart is ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. For this our heart is faint. For these things our eyes are dim. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Thou, O Lord, remainest forever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore dost thou forget us forever, and forsake us so long time? Turn thou us unto thee, O Lord, and we shall be turned. Renew our days as of old. But thou hast utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us.
All right. As you can see, every time we got around the heathens, we got in trouble. Every single time we start acting like them, we stop doing Sabbath, we stop acknowledging our Hebrew holidays, and we start doing what the Gentiles do. And we always ended up in hot water over it. And you can see our ancestors kept repeating that mistake over and over and over. You're right, Esmac. Our skin was black from famine, which means every time we go through a starvation, our people actually got darker. Now, as you can see, the Jews that are over in Israel, when you look at them during the Holocaust, when they went through a famine and they were not being fed on a regular basis, they got pale. They did not get black like it speaks about in the Bible. So, and that's also a good indicator that they are not the people at all, you know? Right. And the thing is, all our people had to do was not turn away from the Most High, and they never would have been taken by the Babylonians. So once again, come from out of her Israel. You got to come out of, from out of the heathens, because the more you bond with them, the further away from the Most High you always will be. It's no doubt about it. So you can see our people were hard-headed back then and we're hard-headed now. So nothing has changed. Yes, Zahara. Yes, whenever we went through a famine, our skin got darker. And we know that don't happen to the Ashkenazi Jews that are over in Israel, because we already seen pictures of them in the Holocaust, and they did not turn black at all. So that should tell you right there, they are not the right people. They are faking the funk. We know they are not the real Jews. Nothing about them is the real Jews. In fact, they everything they do is contrary to what the Bible and Torah says. They don't follow it at all. They do everything opposite of it. Yeah, well, you have to be black, not wear black. There's a big difference. you can't wear black and think that's equivalent to being black. Right, you're right. Wayward 242. Adam, the story of Adam and Eve. When she was with the serpent, that was probably that was the first swirling that ever took place on Earth. Right there. Yeah, you know, um, Ahias, the Edomites around the world are falling apart, and we see it every day. They are definitely a very scared and desperate group of people right now. You know, so they are trying to lash out at anyone, even their own people. In fact, let me show you a story that I was thinking about doing. All right, if y'all can see my screen, you should be able to see it. I want you to see the story that just came out. All right, so this is Las Vegas gunman lost over 1.5 million before mass shooting. And this is Stephen Paddock at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. So they just found out that this man lost $1.5 million over a 2-year period before he went on the shooting October 1st. And he killed 58 people that were attending a country music concert that was outdoors. And that's the thing about these people. The thing is, when they lose money, because we know money is their God, when they lose money, they want to take it out on everybody, or if something fails in their life, they always want to turn around and blame others for it. If he lost that amount of money, take your own damn life. What you trying to kill other people for? Kill yourself. But they don't think like that. They think like an animal. That's why somebody like him can go into a hotel and shoot down at people that had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he lost all of that money. But that is the kind of wickedness that we live around. Whenever they fail in life, they want to take a gun out and shoot everybody. And we know that is not normal behavior. That's animal behavior. That is a soulless person with no humanity. And that's not normal. And, those are the people that some of ours want to follow and believe there's something extraordinary about these people, and there's nothing. It's absolutely nothing there that is worthy of our attention. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this story actually came out today, and I was reading it over, and and they talk all the usual stuff. He had mental illness, he had paranoia, he was delusional and all that. He was bipolar. Yeah, well, he was all of those things, but he wasn't locked up, was he? They let him walk free among everybody else. I don't get it. Why bring all of that stuff about him mentally ill, him being bipolar, and all that stuff after the fact? It's amazing how they can speak about all this stuff after the gunman is dead, but they don't seem to say any of these things while they're alive. Yeah, well, I am greatness. Our people will always love the enemy more than they love their own. Even when I had my video that I had put up about Trump and LeBron James, there was actually a coon that came in the section to try to defend Trump. So, there's nothing we can do about that. We're going to always have coons among our people. We know everybody cannot be saved. And that's one thing we all have to accept. Everybody will not be saved. And they don't, and quite honest, they don't deserve to be saved. They're not trying to find out who they are. All they're doing is trying to make sure they stay clinging to the enemy. So let them do it. Then they can go down with the enemy. But this is what they have discovered about that knucklehead Stephen Paddock, him losing all that money. He sound like a damn idiot to me. Who the hell loses that amount of money? Yeah, yeah, the child pornography, many of them are into that. They don't care about their women and children. They really don't. The only time they get alarmed about their women and children if a black man is around, but other than that, they don't really give a damn about even their women and children. They don't give a damn about them. Yeah. Yeah. But they think they are the gods on the earth, and they're not. There is no God within their soul at all. And the only thing that's there is a demon. That's about it. And we certainly can't pay attention to that. No, you don't. I mean, you can clearly tell he was not all there, for him to lose that amount of money and then try to get mad at everybody else over it. And that's just the nature of the beast. They fail at life, and all of a sudden everybody else got to be responsible for their failures, and we're not responsible for that. The hell with them. The hell with them. Hi, Sister Winfield. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Mike Lewis. I believe that too. I believe he's jealous of most black men, especially the ones in the NFL. I really do. Those men can do things that Trump never could do his whole life. Trump don't look like he got an athletic bone in his body. So, and even when I look at pictures of him younger, he just don't have that athletic build. So yeah, his daddy had to leave him money because he would not have been able to earn nothing on his own like that. Yeah, I heard another part of California is on fire, y'all. I don't know if you heard. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is. Mendoximo complex become California's 7th largest fire. So it's still burning out of control in California. Nothing has changed. Northern California. They're saying now it's the 7th largest wildfire in California's history. And it's still going strong. Still going very strong. So now they're saying 314 square miles have been scorched, making it the 7th largest ever fire in the state. So they're saying at least 55 homes have been destroyed, along with 47 other structures, and threatens 12,300 buildings near Reading. More than 1,550 buildings have been destroyed by the Carr fire, and 1,350 more are threatened. The fire is now twice the size of Sacramento, which I remember that fire, and is the 6th most destructive wildfire in state history. I mean, it seems like every time California goes on fire, it is like a massive inferno going over there. It just seems like, especially between last year and this year, these fires are like breaking records. I mean, that is just absolutely crazy. Yeah, somebody told me, all of these fires, even the ones last year, it was not a lot of Black people in those areas where it burned. Yeah, the fires are in the west, the floods are in the east. That is true. It has been crazy. The weather here is crazy. You'll have the sun out one moment, and then it gets real dark and it starts pouring. And it'll do that off and on all day long. And it's been like that for several days now. We'll have the sun, then we'll go to all these dark clouds, and it'll pour, and then the sun will come back out, and it'll do that several times in one day. It's just crazy. Oh, okay. It was a fire down the street from my house last week. Yeah, it's a lot of fires going on. It's a lot. I believe, but if he's not racist. Oh, well, you know what? All races claim they're not racist. you know, if Trump could be LeBron, he would, if somebody could give him a magic wand and the next day he could be a big athletic buck Black man, he would go for it. You know, that man is so unhappy. And that's all that is showing you how miserable and unhappy he is. And he's so quick to go out on Twitter to criticize and put down Black folks. It is very obvious Trump is a hardcore racist. Always have been, always will be. I don't see how anybody can be shocked by his racism anymore. He's been showing it since he's been in the media, even when he was just living in New York. That man was showing all kinds of things in his history, from housing and all kinds of issues, that he's nothing but a straight up racist. Yeah, I saw that pastor meeting. There's a reason why Trump only keeps a certain type of Black man and woman around him. If you're not kissing the ass of white folks, then that's not the kind of Black people he wants around him. You got to be a big ass kisser. So I'm not surprised, but those Black Christian pastors, they don't represent me. I don't associate myself with anything they do or say. Yeah, G. Jones, we're going into the 90s starting tomorrow for the next 5 days in a row. So I know exactly what you mean. We're going back into the deep heat, and we're going to be in the upper 90s, like 97, 95, So it won't be fun around here. I hate when it's like this because, you got to run your air nonstop, and you turn, if it goes off for like 5 minutes, you're burning again. That's how hot it gets. It's crazy. No, those texts are good. I like the Apocrypha. I've done a few things out of there. We have a lot of text that we have not even seen because it's been hidden from us. Try living in Texas. Oh, I believe you. I've seen the temperatures in Texas. Y'all be going well over 100 degrees. I think there's a heat wave going on in Europe. I got to look that up. I believe there is one going on in Europe right now. Well, those preachers are a bunch of coons. They are just around Trump just to make him feel like he's somebody. That's all. They're willing to sit around him and tell him how great he is, but we know he isn't. But you can always find some ass kissing coon to get around him and just lap up his ass. And what you gonna do? We've always had coons among us, and like I said, it's really our fault because we have let this go on for so long, and these coons have gone unchecked for centuries in this country. We have not dealt with them properly, and that's why they run amok among us today. Plantation toilet paper. Yeah, so it's not much we can do about that. Yeah, it's heating up. You can definitely tell. I really believe this summer is a lot hotter than last summer. I thought last summer was hot, but this one definitely topping last year heat. It's definitely there. Let's hope some of these people will be out there on a 97, 100-degree day and fall on top of some hogweed or something. That'll be a real infernal for them. It's just me. Man. Oh, it's you. Hi, how you doing? I didn't know you were going under Sir General 108. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I I'm still listening into Mr. Hebrew One. Always love the music. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah. But we can't worry about the enemy and what they do. The only thing we have to do is keep ourselves safe from them in these last days, and the less contact, the better. And, we know all the madness that's going on in the phone calls. We just have to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you prepare your children. Many kids are going back to school between August and September because, on the East Coast, they go back in the Northeast in September. And I realize in other parts of the country, they go back to school in August. And just don't let your kids be out here and not know what's happening with these bogus phone calls, because they're going to be moving around and on foot, on bikes, and you'll have some crazy nut job out here talking about, oh, your cat thought they look suspicious. They look out of place. That's the new thing they're saying on 911 phone calls, that we look out of place. We look out of place. We look suspicious. So don't let them go out here and not know what's going on. You know, our kids don't need to be taken by surprise. You got to prepare them for, you know, this treacherous world that they're in. Because, you know, they're calling the cops on our kids too. It's not just adults. Or go around some crazy teacher that believe they should be standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and all that nonsense. Yeah. So, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to probably do another hangout tomorrow, and we'll have a whole panel and go over some of the past week's current events. We'll definitely do that. So anybody, hi, Brother Ayapo. So anyone that wants to join the panel, you know, you're more than welcome to do so tomorrow. Yeah, they worship flags. They worship, you know, even their anthem, you know, their anti-Black national anthem. You know, it's all part of the same idolatry. It's wicketry. We don't have to honor that stuff, y'all. We don't have to do that. If they want to worship a flag, let them do it. We don't do it. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't miss, that's one thing I can say I don't miss about being in school. I don't miss listening to that damn pledge every day, and that flag in the classroom and all that mess they do here. I don't miss looking at that stuff. Not at all. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're still there, Brother Ayapo. Definitely. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to reveal something else to you. Another brother got his channel back. He reached out to me and I helped, you know, give him information. And some of you might have known Truth Unveil. Hold on. Let me see if I can find him. Truth Unveiled 777. He reached out to me. And he was able to get his channel restored. I'm really happy for this
Truth
brother.
Unveiled here, and today I'm so excited to announce the restoration of the channel. As you can see right here, Truth Unveiled 777, and I wanted to come on here and make a video real quick for you all, and also keep you all updated with everything, especially for those of you who have not known or do not know, because it's been 5 months too long.
All right, so there you go. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but Truth Unveil, he lost his channel 5 months ago. He reached out to me. Probably it was, I would say, like the end of July. No, probably like mid-July. He reached out to me. Somebody had told him that I got my channel back. I told him what I did. He did the same thing I did. He filed a lawsuit against Google and YouTube, and he got his channel back after his channel was taken away 5 months ago. So he's back with his old channel. He's had that channel since 2015. And he started a new one. I think it was Truth Unveiled 777 archives. So that's now going to be his secondary channel, and he's going back to his original first channel. And he said he's going to start posting on that. So I'm real happy for him. So the way I see it, that's 3 victories. I got my channel back. Willie D got his channel back, and now another brother, Truth Unveiled, he got his channel back. So now we got 3 Black people that had to go through the legal channels and get our channels back. And again, this is proof without a shadow of a doubt, there was no hate speech coming from us. Okay, this is proof. Now, if we were really doing hate speech, nobody would have got their channel back. YouTube knew they already know they can't beat you in court. So please, everybody, fight for your channels. Do not let them, the trolls, because the trolls are trying to censor the Black voice, and we can't let them win. So, they may troll us, but it's going to cost. It's going to cost YouTube for it. Trolling ain't cheap. So they can troll us all they want, but you keep going and suing, just like we have been doing. Keep going and suing these people and get your channel back. Don't be afraid to do it. So, it's good. Like I said, YouTube is going to have to make a choice eventually. Either keep paying out on all these lawsuits or do something about the trolls. Because they're definitely censoring the Black channels. And nobody should be satisfied with that. You can't let them get away with censoring Black people. So, I mean, that, in my opinion, is good news that he got his channel back. I don't think I heard of them. What is that? Oh, Red Ice TV. Oh, yeah. No. Never mind. I did hear of. I don't know. It really depends. I don't know if all of our people are down for the fight. It really depends. I've had, the only people that have reached out to me is Truth Unveiled, Willie D. I spoke to Willie D on the phone when he lost his channel. In fact, the same day he lost his channel, when it was terminated, he and I had a conversation on the phone. And he was also pursuing, which you already seen. He had his press conference. But see, Willie D is a celebrity. So he can pretty much contact a certain outlets and stuff and get the attention that he needs. He's a well-connected man. So it's easy for him to do a press conference. Yeah. That's why I told Phil, because even Phil from the Advice Show has reached out. He and I correspond mainly by email. And, I told him, I said, if anybody's having problems, just tell them to email me and I'll tell them exactly what I had to do. But I even had a troll tell me, you lost your channel because you shouldn't be talking about white people. You know what? That's not a crime. That's not a crime. So you're saying I got to change what I talk about in order for me to stay on YouTube? No, I'm not going to change. I'm going to do what I have been doing all along. And if you keep fucking with me, I'm going to go back and file another lawsuit, plain and simple. Why do I have to change the things that I'm saying? For what? Change for what? I don't think anybody should change their platform over trolling. You get them under control, not the other way around. No, 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 no. You don't change up nothing. You get out here and you speak your mind and do what you have to do. I mean, if we are wrong, then you should not have gotten your channel back, right? They knew, in court, there's nothing they can do to prevent you from prevailing when it comes down to speech on the internet. So, no, I'm not changing anything. They don't have to listen to me. That's the thing. They don't have to listen to me. They act like they're under some obligation to sit around and listen to me. If they don't like what Black channels are saying, then leave. But to report something as hate speech when it's not hate speech at all, the only one looking stupid in the whole thing is them. But no, we should never accept censorship. None of us, no Black YouTuber should accept censorship. Boy, I can't talk. None of us should accept that. Yeah, it is, Mike Lewis. It is about silencing, the truth. But, you really think about it, even if they took me out, there's still a bunch of other YouTubers that are doing similar stories. Well, Darius, if we don't have freedom of speech, then I should not have gotten my channel back. That's all I can say to you. If that were true, then, it's no freedom of speech, but all of these Black YouTubers that are going through legal channels are getting their channels back. So I don't know how you would explain that then. Well, Kim Jones, you bring up a good point because when Willie D's channel was taken out, a troll actually wrote in the comment section, well, the reason why Willie D was taken out is because, just look at the comment section. Look at the comment section. Look at what they say about white people. Well, that's not a crime. That's not a crime. That's an opinion. And how is that the fault of the YouTube creator? Because a bunch of people may come to the comment section and express a certain opinion. So they're still wrong for trying to pin the comment section on the YouTube creator. So they're still wrong. You're right, Sir General 108. The truth hurts. You're right. That's exactly what it is. They talk about us all day long, but if we talk about them, we need to be taken down. No. Well, Obama is not the president anymore. I know what you're saying, Darius, but Obama is not the president anymore. Trump is now in office, and our ability to speak online hasn't gone anywhere, regardless to whoever's in office. We still have the ability to express ourselves online. I'm not talking about harming people, killing people, go out and cuss people out. I'm not doing any of those things. So as long as I'm not doing that, then I am not violating any YouTube policy or hate speech. Well, yeah, B Miles, they've been on him for a while, Brandon. Here's the thing. You got to stay strong no matter what trolls do. You just got to fight back. And if anybody, and I'm going to say this again, if you need to know what to do in the event that you lose your channel, reach out to me. I have responded to several people already. Some people have lost their channels and they have not reached out to me. at all. And you know, once their channel is gone, sometimes I don't know how to reach them. So even if you were to say to me, well, if you know their channel's gone, did you try to get a hold of them? Sometimes I don't know how to get a hold of them. I don't have their email address. And if their channel is down, it's not like I can go in the comment section and let them know to reach out to me. I just don't know how to reach them. But I've had altogether 4 people reach out to me, and 3 of those 4 people got their channels back. So I'm really happy about that. You know, when I got mine back, people tried to tell me, oh, well, that's rare. No, it's not rare. I think it's not rare. I think that many people have not tried to go after them legally, but I don't believe it's rare. Yeah, yeah, we know, you know, because of who and what we are, they want you to just shut the hell up. We already know that. You know what? I am going to do my thing. You're right about that. You know what? Black Cobra, Ninja 5, you're probably right. You know, I think what's hurting them more is the comments in, you know, the messages and everything that's left in the comment section. I think it is a shocking thing for them to be told all of their lives about Black people. And I think many of them really did believe that we just love them no matter what dirt or evil deed they do to us. We just love them no matter what. And I think many of them, for the first time, are seeing there's a lot of Black people that don't care for them at all. And I think that's a shocking thing for them. I really do. I think it's shocking. It's something they did not expect to see on YouTube. So when they see the comment section, you know, just like you said, that comment section is hurting them more than what the actual YouTube creator is saying. You know, that they're getting really burnt up by what's in the comment section because nobody's kissing their ass. Yeah. You know, before I used to do videos, I had some that were trolling me through comment sections because they were so upset by certain things I would post. You know, I'm always in favor of my people, and I always made that known that I'm very much for my people. And they don't like that. They don't like that at all. I think it just blows them away. You know, they're taught that we love them, they don't love us, they hate us, but we love them, and it's not true. Everybody don't have love for them. Some people do, some don't. That's just the way it is. You know, many of our people are fed up. After all these centuries of pure hell, they're fed up. They don't want to deal with these people anymore because there's nothing good that's going to come out of it. We already know that. Yeah. Yeah, you know, and Lord Maul, I want you to continue to express how you feel. You know, they're not under any obligation to come to a Black channel. They choose to do it because they feel they have the right to lord over us and watch everything that we do and say. They think they got the right to police us in every circumstance. You know, on the street with all those 911 phone calls, they think they got the right to police us online. You know, they're always trying to interject themselves in all aspects of our lives. And people are just fed up with that stuff. They don't like it. And we know they're not going to stop doing it because this is taught behavior. They are taught to do these things. They are told they are so great and perfect and do no wrong, and told we're just so awful and bad. Black people, we're just horrible. And this shit ain't true. It's just not true, plain and simple. But they want to police Black people. They feel they got the right to police us. They do this, and you know this. They do this on jobs. They do this when you're in the store. There's always one of them trying to watch you and see what you're doing. They really got this mentality of believing they got the right to police us and everything. And they're so worried about us to the point where they're losing their damn job. I love the 911. I'm starting to love those 911 phone calls because the end result is always them losing their job. Woo, you know I'm loving that. Or them crying or going into hiding because people are now harassing them. So that's their problem. You put yourself out there like that, now you deal with the consequences, deal with the fallout. Yeah, I try to do that. Unfortunately, Zahara, I still got people in the comment section that respond to them. I try to do the same thing. Just ignore them, don't respond, act like their comment ain't even there. But there's still some people that want to respond. So when I delete the troll comment, if you respond to them, that means your comment gets deleted too. Yes, I did hear about the student that got a call on her because she was reading a book and eating her lunch. I think our queen, the True Royal Family, did the video on that I watched. You know, we can't do anything while Black. You know that, right? They made it illegal for you to even be a Black person existing in America. Yeah, brother D Nubian, I have not experienced that either. When I'm out in public, they pretty much leave me alone. I have not experienced them trying to get up in my business. But then again, I'm ready for them when they do. I'm gonna have something for their ass. You know what, Chris? I don't do that. You know what I do now? If I go in a store and they follow me around, you know what my new thing is? I fill the cart all the way up. I fill the cart all the way up. And then I leave the cart in the middle of the store and leave. They gotta put all that shit back. But no, when they follow me and they try to act like I'm suspect in the store, I'm not gonna buy nothing out of there. There's too many other places to buy duplicate products. You do not have to buy nothing from them. But no, I don't buy nothing. When I see them following me around, I won't buy nothing from them. It's too many stores out here that I can go to. I don't have to buy products from one store. I don't have to do that at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can G Jones, you can't call them out. I don't even waste my time doing that. When I see them following me, I just make them do work for once in their lives. I'll fill that cart up and then I'll leave it right in the middle of the store. I don't care. And I'm not going to buy nothing from somebody that's acting like I'm suspect. And then, you know, then you can't have my suspect dollar. I'll keep it in my wallet. I mean, even following me around in the store, they haven't done that to me in a long time. It's been many years, but I'm just saying if they do, I'm not buying nothing out of that store. My money looks just nice in my wallet. I'm not buying nothing from them. Yeah. I just don't like the fact that they are putting their hands on our children, just like the 17-year-old that almost got pushed out in traffic by the homeless white man, or when they're approaching our children and trying to call the police. I don't like that. I don't want them interacting with our children at all. Yeah, right. I do that. I have done that many times. When they follow me around, I fill up the cart and leave it. Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, Kimberly. You said your husband's truck, somebody was trying to break into it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We got to accept the fact that cops are not there to help us. We have to just accept that. We are a community. We're the most unprotected community in the country. That's what we are. They are not there to look out for us at all. They're just looking out for the rich and the white community. They're not looking out for anyone else. And to me, if that's how you feel, then you shouldn't be in charge, and you need to go somewhere and sit your ass down and just go off on your own. But trying to run a country where you're only trying to accommodate your own people and F everybody else, then that don't sound like leadership to me. It don't sound like leadership. Yeah. Oh no, I don't tolerate no flippant mouth cashier either. I don't put up with that. I think when you get to a certain point in your life, you don't sit around and tolerate that kind of stuff anymore. Yeah, well, this CJ, unfortunately, there is no captivity on this planet that's worse than the one that we're in. There's none that's worse than the one that we're in. And they, the Most High actually set the rules for how slavery is done. And these folks done violated every single rule, that he had in there. You weren't supposed to treat your slaves inhumane. You're not supposed to kill them. You're not supposed to do all that stuff, but that's what they did to us. And we know, come on, you can't, like I said, you can't get human rights from an animal. You can't get that from an animal. I can't go downstairs and get human rights from Loretta. She's a cat. Okay, she can't give me human rights. And that's how we got to look at these folks. They cannot give you any human rights. They're not human. They're hybrids. Right. That's why many Kim Jones, that's why many people say America is a corporation. It's not even a country, it's a corporation. That is so true. Thank you, Odell. Yeah, I mean, we all got to be strong. You got to understand we are in the home stretch of this whole thing ending. So the closer we get to the end, the crazier these people are going to act. They are going to be crazy as hell. So get ready. There's no stopping it. Get ready. Well, first of all, Queen True Royal, they have no business asking you about anything regarding your personal money or truck or anything else. And it just amazes me when I watch those videos when they make those bogus calls, the kind of questions that, they ask Black people. Where do you live? Where are you going? And I'm like, what? No, you don't have to tell these people things like that. No, you don't have to tell them anything. They're under this impression that any question they ask us, we have to answer. No. I'll never forget one day I was leaving my job when I was still working in corporate America. And this white woman I worked with, when I was on my way out the door, she said to me, "Where are you going?" I mean, the work, I was done. It was 5 o'clock. The job was over. And she's looking me in the face talking about, where am I going? I was going home, but that was really none of her business. And I told her, I said, my mom don't even ask me that question anymore. I'm a grown woman. I don't have to tell no one where I'm going and what I'm doing. But it just amazes me how they don't see anything wrong with approaching a Black person and acting as if any question, no matter how personal it is, we have to answer them. No, 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 no. No. Yeah, it's going to get bad. We already anticipate this. Right, brother Ayapo, where's your mama going? That's right. Yeah, well, hey, they're raising mass shooters, so they don't need to worry about our Black children. Pookie and Ray Ray are not shooting up the school. Even they're not crazy enough to go in a school and do some mess like that. Now, they'll kill you on the street, but they ain't gonna go in no school and kill you. Well, decent D, I did a couple of videos on the trade wars, and it's going to be a lot of people out of work. That's what I think it's going to do. It's going to put a lot of people out of work, and I believe it's going to take folks by surprise when they see how their industry that they work in is affected by that thing. And that's really the last thing we need. These people are already crazy with jobs. Without a job, they're going to be even more volatile. They're going to lose their damn minds. That's what they're going to do. Yeah, it's definitely going to put us in a recession. The farmers are already complaining that they're no longer able to sell their crops to China. See, that's why Trump was talking all that stuff about giving them $12 billion to the farmers, because they are literally, y'all, losing their crops that are supposed to be shipped over to China. That stuff ain't moving now. It's not moving. So as long as it doesn't make it to China, they're not going to make any money. So it's already impacting them a lot. And I was looking at, like I was saying in my video yesterday, I saw an article on the blue jean industry. A lot of blue jeans are sold from America and it's shipped over to China. And those jeans are not moving now because of all this tariffs that are going back and forth between China and the US. The blue jeans are not moving. So it's going to be a lot of industries. The construction industry are already impacted from the aluminum and steel. You know, trading with China with the aluminum and steel, a lot of the construction, that sector is impacted. So it's just a matter of time before it's going to be a lot of industries across the board that's impacted. You know, that's why I'm saying it's going to get bad because people are going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their jobs. And as long as this trade war is going on, it's going to be very difficult to find more work. Very difficult. He said this pig was very nasty to my husband. He made her feel small. He told her, "Who the hell you talking to? My truck was broken into. You act like I did the shit right in front of my house." Yeah, well, you know, a lot of them are ignorant. You know what? Queen True Royal, many of them shouldn't even be on a police force. They're so damn ignorant. They shouldn't even be cops. But they put the lowest creature they can find out here and make them a police officer. So, you know, they have no standards as far as who goes on to the police force and who don't. They literally have no standards. They put the trashiest, raunchiest lowlife on there and don't care what they act like when they're out here calling them, what they do ain't policing. You know, they're occupying, they're occupiers, but they're not policing. Yeah, well, you know what, Negra Lopez, one thing I can honestly say, as things get bad, they're going to lose a lot of their little goodies and perks that they've been getting through the government. All of that stuff is going to go away. You watch, Trump is going to tighten up on everything because the US is not going to be selling their products like they used to. And China is probably going to halt a lot of things that they make and coming into the US. This thing is getting really serious that Donald Trump has started. It's getting serious. What I suggest is if you can, Anna can, 228, try to do as much of your shopping online. And we have to keep the lines of communication open with each other as much as possible online. And try to see if we can find Black merchants to buy from in the event where, you know, because you can't really get everything online. I mean, let's face it. But in the event when you got to go in the store, just look around and make sure, you know, if you notice someone watching you real hard, then what you need to do is, you know, get your phone out and make sure you film everything that's going on. And like I said, don't be afraid to start filing those papers to go into small claims court and taking these people to court for harassing you out in public and calling the cops. You know, but again, if you're able to grow something at home, please do. You know, yes, I heard about that, Dolly. They moved. I haven't been over there in a while. The last time I was over there, I had taken my mom over to the credit union out there that's across the street from the Bud Company. Heritage, it's called. It used to be right across the street. That was their credit union. And I took my mom over there to close my father's bank account when he passed. And back then, Tasty Cake was still there. So, yeah, I was told they went over to Northeast Philadelphia now. But they were out there for many, many, many decades. I think Tasty Cake is like 100 years old. It's been there for a long time. Tasty Cake, I think, is over 100 years old. Yeah, I heard about that kind of stuff. I mean, oh boy, we live in a crazy world, y'all. We live in a crazy ass world. Well, Trump don't realize he's really going to be the downfall of his own people, because this trade war means these folks ain't going to be making money. So the ones that are okay with Trump now, they going to be fuming mad as hell when this thing gets worse. It's going to get worse because many of the people that support him, their money is going to be impacted by this trade war he got going. And you just wait. You're going to see a lot of people turning on him. Just give it a few more months. It's going to be people turning on his ass like you never seen before. It's because they're going to be losing money. Right. You can use non-GMO seeds. It should tell you right on the pack that it's non-GMO. And also, if you can get your hands on some organic soil, make sure you can get some. If you get some soil, make sure it's organic soil. And soil that has not been treated with any kind of pesticides. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a lot of people. It's coming. It's going to be a lot of people turning on Trump over this trade war. Yeah, I got a compost bin. That is very true. You definitely need a compost bin. Very true, Sir General 108. Yeah, cabbage actually will grow in the fall, Mike Lewis. So if you're anywhere where it gets cool in the fall and winter, there are like greens and cabbage and spinach actually loves cold weather. So if you plant that, it'll actually do pretty well out there in the cold. I did watch your video, Kimberly. Yeah, I think everybody should watch it. You know what? If you can, post a link to it. I definitely think everybody should see that video. I'm not going to give it away because y'all should see the video. All right, y'all. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to end the live stream. But before I go, who wants to be a moderator? I try to ask each hangout because sometimes the same people are not always here. Is there anybody here that's not a moderator, but you want to be a moderator? I can mod you right now. Okay. Anybody that's not a moderator and you would like to be a moderator? Oh, okay. Good. All right, hold on. All right. I just did John Doe and Leslie Williams. G. Jones, hold on one second. All right, G. Jones is a moderator. Okay, Darius, one second. All right, anyone else? All right, y'all. I want to thank you all for coming. Oh, Sister Winfield, absolutely. Hold on, let me just mod you. All right, you are a moderator, Sister Winfield. All right, y'all. If nobody else wants to be a moderator, I will go ahead and end this hangout. And I just want to make sure you guys follow the link that Cabrera Santana just posted to that video. Oh, it's always great hanging out with you guys. Always great, you know? And if we can come together on the Shabbat, that is a beautiful thing the way I see it. Because I know we are spread out in so many different states. At least we can come together and just listen to a good chapter or even the whole book in the Bible. I love that kind of stuff anyway. So enjoy the rest of the Shabbat. And I will probably do, like I said, a hangout tomorrow, and we'll just shoot the breeze and talk about all of the different events that's going on. And I'll have a panel. So Shabbat Shalom, family. Peace.